Question 9. So again, this divide 5, we want to get rid of that. Okay, so to do that, we'll have to multiply both sides by 5. So multiply this side by 5, multiply this side by 5. Remember, we're multiplying everything on the right hand side by 5 and everything on the left hand side by 5. So on the right hand side, it will be just 5 and x minus 3, 5 times x minus 3. And on the left hand side, the divide 5 here and the times 5 cancels out, leaving with just the 2x. So now if we expand the right hand side out using the grid method here, I've got x minus 3 and I've got the 5 there. So 5 times x is 5x, and then 5 times minus 3 is minus 15. So 2x is equal to, so when I expanded that out, I got 5x minus 15. So now I have to decide which side do I collect all the x's in. The side that has the most x's, which is the right hand side, because right hand side is 5x and the left hand side only has 2x. So this means I want all my x's on the right hand side and I want no x's on the left hand side. So to do that, I have to get rid of the 2x on this side and I have to get rid of the 2x on this side. So 5x taken away 2x is just 3x, and the minus 15 here, just copy it down. And here 2x taken away 2x is just 0. So to get the x on its own, I will have to add 15 to both sides. So add 15 here, add 15 here. So now the take away 15, the add 15 cancels out, leaving with just 3x. And here on the left hand side, 0 add 15 is just 15. So now to get the x on its own, I have to divide the right hand side by 3 and the left hand side by 3. So 15 divided by 3 is 5, and the times 3 and divider cancels out, leaving just x. So 5 is equal to x, or x is equal to 5. So as I've said many times before, now check your answer, see that if x is really equal to 5 by substituting. So I'll give you one more quick example of that. So instead of 2 times x, here we're going to write 2 times 5, because we thought x is equal to 5, and then reverse divide by 5 is equal to, so instead of x here now, I want to write 5, because we think x is 5, 5 take away 3. So what's 5 take away 3? On the right hand side is equal to 2, and on the top I have 2 times 5 is 10, 10 divided by 5 is 2. So can you see 2 is equal to 2, so therefore x was equal to 5. Question 10, we do not want the divide 5 at the bottom here, so we will multiply both sides by 5. So times this side by 5 times this side by 5. So remember, when we times it by 5, it means multiplying all of this by 5, so we put it inside a bracket. So 5 times all of that, which is 4 minus x, and here the divide 5 and the times 5 cancels out, leaving with just 3x. So now we know 3x is equal to 5 times, and inside the bracket 4 take away x. So if we expand the right hand side, 4 minus x and 5 here, so 5 times 4 is 20, and then 5 times minus x is minus 5x. So the right hand side expands to be 20 minus 5x, and the left hand side is just 3x. So now, which side has more x's? So the left hand side has more x's because 3x, and the right hand side is a negative value, so it's a lower value for x. So we want to collect all the x on the left hand side, because especially here we don't want a negative value for x. Okay, so if we take it to the other side, it becomes positive. So if I, to get rid of this minus 5x, I have to add 5x. So I'll have to add 5x here to get rid of this minus 5x. And remember, whatever we do to the right, we have to do the same to the left. So we're adding 5x to both sides. So the left hand side, 3x add 5x is equal to 8x, and on the right hand side the minus 5x and plus 5x cancels out, leaving with just 20. Now I have to divide both sides by 8 to get rid of this times 8. So because I want x by itself, I'm dividing both sides by 8. So x will be equal to 20 divided by 8. Now because they're both even numbers, I don't really like equals, writing too many equals here, but this is just for illustration. 20 divided by 8. Okay, so we can half them both. So we get 10 over 4. We can half them again. Because they're both even numbers, so we get 5 over 2. And everyone knows 5 over 2 is 2.5. But if we were to write it as a mixed number, okay, copy the 2 down. How many times does 2 go into 5? How many times does 2 go into 5? We'll do it 2 times, so 2 times is 4 with 1 remainder. So the final answer is x is equal to 2.5 or 2.5. So substitute this in where we see x, put in 2.5, and you should see that the left hand side will always equal to the right hand side if x is 2.5. That's how you know you're correct. Question 11. I want to get rid of this divided by 3, so that means I have to multiply both sides by 3. So times 3 here and times all of this by 3. So that means I have to put it inside the bracket. So 3 times 4x minus 5 is equal to, well, this times 3 and this this times 3 and this divide to cancels out, leaving just 2x. And if we expand the right hand side, and 3 comes here. If you don't understand expanding brackets, you'll have to watch a clip on that. You have to watch a separate playlist for expanding brackets. So for now, 3 times 4x is 12x, and 3 times minus 5 is minus 15. So the right hand side is 12x minus 15, and the left hand side we have 2x. So we need to ask ourselves which side has more x's. So it's clear that the right hand side is 12x, I have more x's. So I'm going to collect all my x's on the right hand side. That means I do not want any x on the left hand side. So I have to get rid of this, take away 2x from both sides. Oops, take away 2x. Because I want to get rid of this 2x. So how do you do that? To take away 2x. So if I take away 2x on this side, I have to take away 2x on that side as well. So 12x take away 2x is 10x. And then just copy down the minus 15, and the left hand side just equal to 0. Now to get the x on its own, I have to get rid of this minus 15, so I have to add 15 to both sides. So the minus 15 add 15 cancels out, leaving with just 10x, and the 0 and the plus 15 cancels out to leave with just 15, or 0 add 15 is just 15. So I'm just going to continue down here. Really I should just continue going down, but because of lack of space, I'm going to continue on the right hand side. So we now have 15 is equal to 10x. So now to get the x on its own, I'll have to divide both sides by 10. So on the right hand side, 10 divided by 10 is equal to 1. So that cancels out. So just left with just x. And on the left hand side, we've got 15 over 10. Now we can simplify that. We can divide the top and bottom by 5. That will give us 3 over 2 is equal to x, which is just 1.5. Because x goes in, if we write it like this, sometimes there's 2 going to 3 one whole time with 1 remainder. So the answer is x is equal to 1.5. Remember, we're going to keep all the equals in a line, and even this bit here inside the box, I would have just continued here, but just don't have enough space. Anyway, for question 11, the final answer is x is equal to 1/2 or 1.5 or 1.5. Okay, question 12. We want to get rid of the x here, so that means times both sides by x. So times this side by x times this side by x. So what's 4 times x is 4x, and the divide x and times x cancels out, leaving just 200. So to get the x on its own, I have to get rid of the times 4. So divide by 4, divide by 4. So the times 4 and the divide 4 cancels out, leaving just x, and 200 divided by 4. Well, anytime we divide a number by 4, just half and half it again. So half to 100 is 100, and 100 halved is 50. So for question 12, the answer is 50. We'll just write it neatly like this. X is equal to 50. As you can see, we can easily check this one by substitution, because 200 divided by x is equal to 4 was the question. And we can see, if we believe x is equal to 50, we're going to say 200 divided by 50 is equal to 4, which is true. So therefore answer x is equal to 50 is correct.